Show y'all a little tour of a miniature Johnny house I'm building. Just a small one. Really don't know why. I just thought it might be more maneuverable, and I've never had a small one, so gonna see if the birds are actually less flighty if I do put them out and get them exercised every day. So just a brief overview. It's about 3.5 foot by about maybe 3.5 to 4 foot, and it's about almost 4 foot tall. I'd say it's close to 40 by 40 by 40 inches. The framing here, I'll show you. I'll walk around over here, show you the framing. The framing is banisters. They are basically, if you see a handrail like a deck, and you have the 2x2 banisters that they put on it for facing, for decorative work. Well, they're pre-cut and they're pre-angled. See, they're pre-angled, so they're already cut at about 45s. So you can just put them together and tack them with a nail gun. That's what I did. And then I ran them diagonally across, and wherever they landed was where I put my crossboard. That's about 13 inches of open area there. Now, on the inside, I've got that board there. You can see I didn't brace it up or anything. This is kind of like a trial one. If it works out well, I'm going to try to get it down, simplify the method. What I did wrong that I would really advise against is I made the frame, tacked the frame together, and then I put the paneling on and everything on. What I wish I would have done is I wish I would have taken all 4 panels, laid them out on the ground, and then tacked the board to them, tacked the wire to them, everything to them. That way, all I have to do is stand it up, hit it with the nail gun, and brace it all together. Instead of trying to build it as I go, just make 4 panels and then nail them together when they're done. Anyway, you see this is going to be the only platform the Quail have to get up on. And see my little recall funnel down here I have. And I'm going to put this, I want to nail some more 2x2s to the facing here, and on all 4 corners. That way it's off the ground about 3 inches, and then I'm going to put a little door that comes up like this on hinge, and it'll just you know, just lower for me when I decide I'm going to have birds out. Now the feed tubes here, they're thin wall PVC, real cheap. I got 10-foot section for $7, cut it in half. Go over here and show you what I did for the lids. I'm working on the water lid right now, and it's kind of a mess. I'm gonna have to probably go get another one. Okay. So for the lids, because I really don't want the lids to be too tight, because they're gonna be bracing and everything, and I'm gonna be tugging on and pulling on them. So see, they go in real simple and they slide all the way down. So then when I take them off, they come off real simple. If you can see that, they come up real simple. What I did was I took a hacksaw, if you can see here, and I put 8 splits in it. That way, see, it's not a very tight fit, just enough to keep critters out. Got one there, and then one here. Now, take a step down here. You can see I drilled a hole through the top, which I should have angled. I cut a hole through this deck here, and then come all the way down to the floor. I've got them at the appropriate height off the floor. Now, this is going to be simply, I'm going to attach this end cap here, and I'm going to put a piece of 4x4 under here. That way it doesn't come down anymore. And if you can see, I have the 2 nipples. These are 360 nipples. I think I got them off of QC Supply, but I may have got them off Farm Tech. Anyway, I got them towards the front. That way I can set the back on a, see, I've got the openings that way. I can set it like this and brace it up behind. I could put a 2x4 or 4x4 or something underneath the back end of it, and it won't obstruct them from drinking. Now over here, I just took a piece of 4x4 and I toe nailed it into the floor, and then you can see in here what I did. I'm pretty proud of this actually. Down here, you can see in there, I don't know if you can see in there or not. Now if you can see back up in there, I have a reducer. There's a now this is 4-inch PVC, and then I've got a Schedule 40 3-inch reducer that I slid up in there, and then you can see I screwed it in. I put 3 screws in to hold it in here, and then I took and I drilled out holes. So I put the feed in up top, and the feed comes down the tube. It goes through the reducer, but the mouth to the reducer is just about as low as this. That way, whenever the feed comes down, it won't overflow out the end. It just goes in the bottom, and it stays in the bottom, and the birds can stick their head in here and eat out of it. To go over pricing, the reducer was about $3.50. The end cap was about $1.88, and I got 4 of them. And then the pipe, this was one pipe cut in half, cost me about I think it was $7 something. It was just shy of $5, or just shy of $8. And then I bought some super glue, PVC glue, and that was less than $4.50. And so after all that, I've got, that's a 4-inch by 5-foot feed and water tubes. It's going to work out pretty good, I think. That's what they see. All those years, no one knew. And then for the door here, just a couple hinges, and I've got my sliding lock here, so not really put on straight, but who cares? Just open it like that, pick it up. Now I kind of just I've got a cross beam here, you can see. That way it can support both the roof and the door. And then I kind of eyeballed the deck, no particular perception. I just thought, now if I open this up and I lean in here, how far does that need to be back so I can go in there with the net and catch little birds or whatever? I'll probably be able to catch most of them, but I'm going to get a little minnow net, and I can catch them down in here. And you can see, I can reach almost clear to the bottom of it. Probably a foot shy, but a little bitty net's going to be plenty. And on top of that, I eyeballed the door. That way I can kind of put it on top of my head. That way no bird can get out around me. That's why I didn't put it all the way across. I want it small enough where they can't get through on me. I can stick my head in there still. Lock it up. So that's about it. I've got a solid piece of plywood, 1-inch plywood on bottom, 1-inch plywood on top, and it's going to be off the ground. Now, very important is to put something in there that can dust with. I'm going to use sand, but make sure when you're using a Johnny house, you always put something in there the birds can dust in. Even if you have a screen bottom or a wire bottom, you should probably get a big pan or something and put dust and something in there they can use it grit. Even if you use a grit included, no grit needed feed, it's good for them. And if they dust, it gives them more vibrant colors, fuller feathering, that sort of stuff.